Hey everybody, welcome back to our Algebra 1 videos. In today's video we're going to cover basic function properties. So these include adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing functions, and combining them. So at the top here we have our two given functions. So f of x is going to be equal to x squared plus 1, that's our function 1, and g of x is equal to x minus 5, that's our function 2. So let's start off by adding our functions. So we can just put them in parentheses to separate them, and we get x squared plus 1, which is f of x, plus parentheses x minus 5, which is g of x. Now this can actually be solved by really basic addition. So all you have to do is combine like terms, and you end up with the equation x squared plus x, and then this becomes 1 plus negative 5, or 1 minus 5, which is equal to negative 4. So this becomes your answer for the first problem. For the second problem, now you're going to reset up this equation here, except the only thing that's going to be different is you're going to subtract them. Now the signs will be different. So you get x squared minus x instead of plus x, and then 1 minus negative 5, which is the same as 1 plus 5. So you get plus 6. This becomes your answer for the second question. Now multiplying them, you get x squared plus 1 times x minus 5. So for this, you have to do distribution, FOIL method, if you haven't learned that in school. So you have to multiply x squared by both terms here, and the 1 by both terms here. So you get x cubed minus 5x squared plus x minus 5. Now as you can notice here, we have no terms to actually combine, so this becomes our final answer for problem 3. So that's a FOIL method right here. So for this you have to use the FOIL method. Now when using division, so you get x squared plus 1 divided by, let me make that division sign a little more clear. So divided by x minus 5. So we're not going to go into long division or anything like that right now. So in this case, our final answer actually remains like this. So you can solve this using long division, which would look like this, and then you essentially cancel out some of these values to solve for it. But for now we're not going to do that. We'll learn doing long division a little later on, especially with polynomials and variables. Now the last two main examples you're going to focus on are both composite functions. So this in terms of English reads f of g of x, and this one reads g of f of x. So they represent two different things. Now what does this mean? Well, f of 2, if you, let me draw right here real quick. So if you have f of 2, what do you do in your equation, right? You just plug in 2, you replace that x in your equation with 2. So we have g of x instead of 2, so we're going to replace our x with our g of x equation right here. So this becomes x minus 5 squared plus 1. Now we can simplify this by once again multiplying that x minus 5 squared and FOILing it out. So multiplying each term by each other term, and we get x squared minus 10x. Now this becomes plus 25 plus 1, which is plus 26. The 5 and 5 gets you multiplied, or the 5 and 5 multiplied gets you 25, and then on the very outside you have that 1, which gets you 26. Now g of f of x is going to be different. If you have g of 2, you're going to replace this x with 2, and you get 2 minus 5. So in this case, this becomes x squared plus 1 minus 5. And this can be simplified very easily by just combining the 1 and negative 5 to get x squared minus 4. So these are the most commonly used function properties. Now in the next video, we're going to cover inverse functions.